Hi everyone, welcome to Ethernal Realms and welcome to the month ahead astrology reading. Make sure you check your sun, moon and rising signs for a comprehensive view of the month. Additionally, I would recommend watching the tarot reading of the month ahead for your zodiac to get a different perspective of the month. While you will know the astrology in advance through this session, I will also send you a reminder when the astrological events are near. All you have to do is subscribe, hit the bell, and you will be notified as the events occur. I occasionally post behind the scenes meditation guidance, quizzes, and polls, which you can check for yourself in my community page, and it goes without saying that you will be notified when new videos are out, such as other zodiac readings and pick a card tarot readings too. If you prefer to cut down the guesswork about your month ahead, you can always connect with me via Etsy to get a personalized week by week, month ahead tarot reading paired with the general astrology. So enough about me, let's talk about you. On the first of the month, we have the Sun conjoining with Mercury in the sign of Cancer, which is a fellow water sign. So it is going to coexist with you in a harmonious relationship. And this is affecting your ninth house of big picture thinking, your higher education, foreign travel, and foreign languages as well. And if you are a teacher, then this is where you are going to be expanding, or there is like new lessons or new plans that you're making for the future here. If you're connected with a mentor figure, there can be some insightful guidance that you can get through them. And your spiritual life, your intuitive life is as well feeling really good. There can be traveling abroad to visit your family or go to your childhood home if that is something that is applicable to you. Okay, on the next day, on the 2nd, we have Venus in Leo squaring with Uranus in Taurus. And Venus is in your 10th house of career ambitions and goals that you have, and what the status of how are you presenting yourself to the world, basically. What's the status you're seeking or the status you're creating, versus Uranus in Taurus, which is your partnership house, your one-to-one collaborations, as well as your clients. You can also see how you project yourself through the 7th house. So the contrast between this can mean that your partner has some things going on regarding family or home situations, or it can be that you are thinking about how can you split equal time, or how can you split equal focus between your career and ambitions and your relationship needs and requirements. There can be some surprising news that comes in regarding your relationships, which can lead to some, growth or developments regarding your status. On the 3rd, we have a full moon in Capricorn. The moon is in Capricorn in your 3rd house of communication, short distance travel, and also siblings, relatives, local community, marketing, social media as well. And the sun is in Cancer, which is in the 9th house, which we talked about already. It's about the philosophy, belief systems, future vision, far off travel, and languages as well. Teaching, teacher, all of that, right? So with this opposition, there can be topics around your mindset, how your mindset and your worldview is affecting the reality that you're creating. And there can be some new communication or contracts that occur, or this can mean that you're closing a contract, a project is coming to a close. You might be leaving a team, or someone from your team can be leaving you in a co-working type of situation. But regardless, this makes way for new beginnings to come. Because it is a time of the full moon, there is that completion vibe. Also, you can be feeling a little bit more heightened in your emotions, and that can be again affected by the thoughts you're having throughout the day. 1 day or 2 days before, after, depending on how sensitive you are to the moon energies, is going to be affecting you. All right, next on the 9th, we have Mercury in Cancer trining Neptune in Pisces. Neptune is retrograde at this time and is sitting in your 5th house of creativity, children, and self-expression, as well as your romantic life. Meanwhile, Mercury in Cancer is again in your 9th house of philosophy, belief systems, long distance travel, a teacher, teaching, all of that, right? So this harmonious relationship brings in some healing through inner child work, and also create space for further expansion, okay, where you can express yourself more freely. And all of these are water signs. You are a water sign, so all of this is going to exist with you in such a harmonious aspect. You can get some realistic inspiration and ideas that you can implement right away into your reality. Okay, some manifestation techniques can become revealing to you that that's something that works. Maybe working with water as well can be beneficial. Cleansing, healing, all of these things can work really wonders. All right, on the 10th, we have the Mercury in Cancer, and that is opposing Pluto in Capricorn, and Pluto is retrograde at this time. So once again, when Pluto is in your third house, you've been dealing with this for quite some time now. You've been recognizing the power of mind, thought, words, intention, and how that translates to how you react to situations and the types of actions that you're taking. So there can be some travel plans you're making at this time, or you're making strategies and plans and whatnot to further your goals and expand into a future that feels more like home to you. And I kind of like this opposition as well, because Mercury makes these concepts very conscious. Because Pluto is a far off planet, it can feel a little bit confusing as to how it affects us on a regular basis. So Mercury kind of puts everything in context. Meditation, prayers, spiritual practices, or even reading, expanding your knowledge, talking with people from different backgrounds, all of these things can help you clarify how you can expand your mindset. Now, because Pluto is retrograde, these changes are likely going to happen behind the scenes, and others might not know that they are affecting you in a particular way, but you are taking away all of these key lessons and implementing them deep down. The same day, we have Mars going from Leo into Virgo. So now the focus, or rather the activities, are going to shift from the career sector into your aspirations, your ideals, and your friendships, your network as well. Your view towards humanity and how you come to service for humanity as well is going to become more heightened. Wherever Mars goes, there's a lot of busyness and action that happens. And as it enters Virgo, it exists in a trine aspect with the North Node in Taurus. So whatever your goals and dreams are, they are very much in alignment with your relationships, or it can be that your connections, your clients are very supportive of the things that you're showcasing around this time. And this can also mean some new ventures or new ways of presenting yourself to the larger community that can be highly beneficial in furthering your business, let's say, or acquiring new partners, making new friends, and kind of deepening the bonds with the existing friends and relationships that you have. And this can also mean like a nice time where you're getting together with friends as well, if you can manage some time. But of course, the energy is there like one day before and after, so you can, celebrate or enjoy around this time. On the 11th, we have Mercury moving from Cancer, your 9th house, into Leo, your ambitions, goals, career, and status. So brainstorming sessions of what do you want to present yourself in the world, and you are communicating a lot, or your communication, your presentation is being seen by the world. And now this is squaring with the North Node in Taurus, and this is going to be the last aspect that the Taurus North Node is going to make with Mercury, or rather with any planet, because right the next day North Node is shifting. We'll talk about that in just a second. But Mercury square North Node can bring in some revealing information that was once missing, but these little tidbits of information that you find through other people, through observing others as well, and that can take you quite far. It can even inspire you to take further action or create new types of products or posts, or form different types of relationships. There can even be some thought forms that occur at this time of what are your goals exactly. Maybe you're completing a particular cycle, or who you are now, or your desires now are slowly starting to shift. So you're like, okay, so what would this new version of me like to create and like to do? The clearer you identify yourself, the clearer you can express yourself, right? Creative writing, creative speaking, these things can be very well put together, but again, you might feel as though you're pulled in many directions at this time because of the square aspect. But it's okay, be patient with yourself, note down the ideas and go with it one by one. There's no need to hurry. This is a fixed square, so it might affect you in a little bit of a stressful manner, but regardless, it is here to create new action and progress for you. So the next day, the North Node moves into the Aries Libra axis. So the North Node is in Aries and the South Node is in Libra. You're out of the woods. Okay, the South Node has moved away from your sign. Okay, so now the 12th and the 6th house is going to be activated, with the North Node being in your 6th house of health, routines, lifestyle, management. And the South Node in the 12th is about suspension, surrender, release, cleanse, spirituality, and all these otherworldly types of things. Okay, so wherever the South Node is, that's our comfort zone. But at the same time, we get our resources from that space. So we don't want to abandon the South Node, okay? But we do want to channel everything that is there available already in the 12th house into the 6th house. So taking spiritual knowledge, or taking our ability to let go and relinquish, forgive, forget, whatever, and translating that into how we deal with everyday life. The 6th house is our incomings, outgoings, just our daily habits as well. The need to escape is going to reduce, and we're going to be more proactive about everything that you're doing in your everyday life. You're going to be more organized. You're going to be more initiatory. You are going to be more courageous, brave, and risk-taking as well, which are not traditionally things that you identify as. But you and Aries have one ruler in common, and that is Mars. And Mars is in a productive and efficient sign. And in Virgo is traditionally placed in the 6th house, right? So basically, we're dealing a lot about how can you neaten up your space. How can you organize your life? Where can you let things go because there's too much clutter, or you've taken on too much and you need more time to rest and relax? The opposition between the North and the South Node, the Aries Libra axis, is going to help you rebalance your life so that you have both the spiritual side of things and also your practical side of things all in one alignment. You know when to take control, you know when to let go. Okay, that's the purpose, and it's going to occur over the coming 1.5 years. So very important stuff. And because it's a long transit, once again, be patient with yourself. Bit by bit, as aspects form with the North Node, you're going to discover different pieces of information. It's going to be a different type of journey, but you're going to discover so much about what you can do in life and who you are being, who you can be, and all of that. All right, so on the 17th, we have a new moon in Cancer, and there's a new beginning related to education, graduation, teaching modalities, spiritual modalities, religious systems, other institutions you're involved in, what you consider home, what are your belief systems about the world, and your philosophies. So lots of things have happened in the last week. So over here, you're likely going to feel a little bit different, okay? So this makes way for new beginnings to come, new potential and new possibilities of growth related to home, family, your emotional security, and how you feel about the world at large. The same day, we have Mercury square Jupiter, and Mercury is in your 10th house of Leo, and Jupiter is in the 7th house of Taurus. So that square comes up here where you might have you have like a lot of creative ideas, and maybe you are on board with a lot of projects, but now Jupiter is like, well, now you have to pay attention to other people. So you might have some products on the go, or some things that you're working on the go, but then you also have people asking you questions, or they are kind of asking for more attention from you, and then that can put a little bit of stress as to how much are you going to split your focus. The way to resolve squares is to focus on both sides of the aspect equally. Try not to choose one over the other, but rather do both. And you might think, what, that's crazy, I can't do that, I would burn out. But not really, because squares come with a lot of energy, and when we don't use them, when we don't channel them, that's when they manifest as frustration. Frustration takes an immense amount of energy. Anger, frustration, aggression, all of these things are immense amounts of energy. If instead of expressing it that way, we just redirect it and just focus on what we're doing at that time, and then quickly switch focus into the other area of life, and then just switch back and forth, at the end of the day, yes, you'll still be tired, but you're getting everything done. All right, amazing. On the 20th, we have a nice aspect forming between the Sun in Cancer with Neptune in Pisces, and Neptune is retrograde. So this is creating a nice creative expansion for you. There can be some inner child healing. If you have children, then there can be some creative self-expression that they are doing, different ways that they are expressing themselves towards you, and your relationship in that way can be changing, but for the better. The same day, we have Mars in Virgo, right opposite Saturn in Pisces, and Saturn is retrograde. So your 11th house and 5th house topics come up, and over here you're looking at the things that you're creating. Are you channeling them into something that's useful for humanity, or how much are you creating for yourself? So there needs to be a balance again, that you're not doing everything only for you, and then nothing for humanity, nothing for your friends. But at the same time, doing everything for your friends but nothing for yourself is also not going to work, because it's a mutable energy. There is always a tendency of being imbalanced. Okay, sometimes we're like overly critical of our work, and then we don't want to reproduce that into the outside world. So Saturn over here is like, change the way that you go about things so that you're much more flexible in the way you express yourself, whether it is for just you or it's for the consumption of a larger audience. Either way, take action, recalibrate, make things more streamlined so that you can manage both. On the 22nd, we have another opposition, the Sun in Cancer opposite Pluto in Capricorn in your 3rd and the 9th house. Okay, so Pluto, like I mentioned, is retrograde, and this means once again you're focusing on expanding. You want to grow and expand. That's what your main focus is up until the 23rd. So you're looking at how can you do that? Okay, what about your mindset is stopping you? What seems to be the obstacle at this point? There can be this investigative quality of, I don't really know what is stopping me, but I kind of feel as though I'm blocked. So then you're investigating what exactly it could be. Okay, so you're getting inspired by other spiritual teachers or other people who have figured it out, or other people who have expanded beyond their horizons. What are their belief systems? What are different ways of seeing the world? What is reality after all? And how can you adopt some of those modalities? The same day, we have the Sun in Cancer squaring with the North Node in Aries. And this is again bringing into focus your health or your routines and your management. So you're neatening these things up, and this is the first aspect that the North Node is making while being in Aries. So this again is going to talk about, all right, so you want to expand. We got that. Now, how can we make it happen right now, right here? Okay, that's kind of the 6th house topic. Right now, right here, especially when we have Aries. We got to take action right now. What can we do? Where can we go? What is stopping us? What's the stressor? Let's take action. Okay, so you're figuring something out and you're trying to implement that. Of course, you're still in the beginning stages of the Aries North Node. That's why I mentioned, be patient with yourself. It's okay to get it wrong once in a while. Either way, there is plenty of growth and action that you're taking here, and that's going to neaten up very soon. On the 23rd, we have the zodiac season shifting from Cancer to Leo. So the Sun moves into Leo, and the same day, Venus in Leo is going retrograde. And the same day, Mercury in Leo is squaring with Uranus in Taurus. All right, so Leo season brings into focus your career life. You are more likely more ambitious and visible to the general populace, whatever it is that you're doing, whatever role you play in your life. You are more appreciated, or you're more looked after, looked at, and your guidance might be more useful. But because Venus is going retrograde here, you might be, this is something you're dealing with in the background. Like, is this something I want to be doing all the time? Maybe I have a different style. Let me try different things, It is recommended to implement these things kind of in the backdrop. If, let's say, you're trying to learn a new creative skill, go right ahead, go ahead and do that. If that's what your heart calls for, go for it. But publishing that as an official thing might not be the best time over here, because when Venus does go direct, then you might be like, well, I thought wrong, or this is not really what I'm looking for, and now I have to go back. Okay, so similar to what Mercury retrograde brings, but because Venus is the planet of love and harmony, as well as rules, relationship, finances, our relationships with finances as well. This can really bring about some conceptual things, okay, rather than mundane things about like laptop crashing or something like that. So these are more deeper aspects, and thinking about it internally is going to be a good idea. Nevertheless, you are going to be more visible because it's still at the very top of your chart. People can see that you're somehow changing. You can feel like you want to, rest a little bit and you don't want to be in the spotlight very much. Or it can be exactly the opposite. Whenever the planet is retrograde, it is kind of exaggerated in some ways. Okay. And that brings into focus that there's something that was suppressed before and it can't be suppressed anymore, or something needs rebalancing and healing. Okay. Now, because Mercury is squaring with Uranus here, there can be, again, more communication regarding careers and more thought forms that are being created at this time. More plans and strategies are forming related to careers. But at the same time, you don't want to spread yourself too thin. So you're looking at, am I focused enough? Am I splitting my focus too much? And you might be required, again, with like one-on-one connections. Maybe you're getting new clients, or there's like additional questions they have, or additional products they're requiring, and you have to prepare for the shipping or whatever. And also it can be that your relationships, your love relationship, business partnerships, they're calling for your attention at this time, and you might feel sort of like, okay, I just want to be myself for some time and I want to do what I want to do, that type of situation. Leo is very much like that. I will do what my heart wants, and you're especially passionate around this time. On the 27th, we have Mercury meeting Venus in Leo, and Venus is, of course, retrograde at this time. So I think this is the first time that the feelings we are getting deeper down because of Venus are becoming conscious, because Mercury is the planet of the mind and it is direct. So we can absolutely use this insight to kind of further our course. Observe what happens on the 23rd, observe what happens on the 27th. It's likely the 27th will give you more context on what 23rd meant. On the 28th, we have Mercury in Leo trining with the North Node in Aries. So this is why I was saying that don't be discouraged by the 22nd square with the North Node, because you will receive some either good news or positive developments. Be patient with yourself. You will receive some type of encouragement, and that's on this day, on the 28th. This is where you're discovering something nice, that whatever you're doing is working, or your passions and your ideas are positively inspiring you. It seems doable. It's possible. So it's kind of like, all right, I'm pumping myself up and let's go for it. Okay, let's just go ahead and do it. Let's create the necessary systems and make our dreams possible, make the goals achievable. And right after that, Mercury moves away from Leo and into Virgo the same day. So Mercury rules Virgo, and that's your 11th house. So once again, the advice, communication that you have regarding your friendships or your aspirations, your ideals, and the communication that you will have with friends or network is going to be more visible. You're likely to produce some, healing work, or just something that's practical, useful, and kind of small little details that you can change, maybe tips on organization or something like that, that can be absolutely useful to people around you. Even in the larger community, of course, it depends on whether you have something public going on or, in your immediate surrounding. Regardless, it is going to be useful. Anything you write or publish in that way is also going to stand out more in the time that Mercury is in Virgo. So that's what I have for you. Thank you for being here. I really hope you enjoyed and that the messages help you out throughout the month. Stay tuned for the tarot reading for your zodiac sign as well. I will be uploading them soon. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified whenever that's up. And if you enjoyed the reading, please do like and comment your thoughts if you have any. It will be really lovely to hear back from you, and it really helps the channel grow as well. I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye.